Before I learned how to use my English fluency to genuinely help people, I was like most expats I meet today, working hard, switching gigs, hoping for something stable, but honestly, quietly wondering why nothing was clicking. I wanted a career that mattered. I wanted work that felt aligned. I wanted stability without losing the life that I chose abroad. But every path just left me more tired, not more grounded. And I started to wonder if the career I wanted actually existed. There was a season I'd entered that felt like I was slowly disappearing. I was living abroad, surviving on whatever job I could find, teaching here, tutoring there, saying yes to anything that kept me afloat for one more month, eating mama noodles to keep the living costs low, skipping restaurants and meals with friends, even taking 20-hour bus rides because flights were just too expensive. I missed Christmas with my family because I just couldn't afford to go home. And even though I was trying so hard, nothing felt stable. Nothing felt like my future. And there were nights where I was just by myself wondering why everyone else seemed to have figured out remote work except me. And starting to tell myself, maybe I'm just not cut out for it. Maybe other people are just smarter than me. Maybe I should just go home and get a normal job. I felt behind, a bit ashamed, stuck basically in a life where I was constantly working, but never really feeling like I'd moved forward. And I didn't know how to tell anyone the truth. I was scared basically that what I wanted, what I said I wanted, what I said I was going to achieve didn't actually exist or wasn't actually possible. And trust me, I tried everything. I'd started an e-commerce store, it didn't take off. I tried freelancing, still no money. I tried teaching online, my hours were capped, my income was capped, and I was more tired than ever. Every path just felt like a dead end. And every failure made me feel more trapped in a future that I knew I didn't want. And then one night I was staring at my laptop and I felt something sort of break inside of me. I just couldn't keep forcing myself into roles that drained me. I couldn't keep pretending I was okay. I couldn't keep living a life where I was working nonstop, but nothing important was changing. And the scariest part, I realized that if I kept going like that, another year would pass and I'd be in the same place. And I didn't want just another job. I'd had jobs. I wanted a life that made sense, but I had honestly no idea where to find it at that point. And in the meantime, I'd seen this quote by Warren Buffett, of all people, but it said, it doesn't matter how hard you row, it matters which boat you get in. And it just hit me in this really weird way. It felt true because I didn't feel I was the problem. My effort wasn't the problem. I was just in the wrong boat. And that moment didn't fix everything, but it gave me a reason to look for a different path, a path that sort of matched who I already was. And then someone introduced me to a remote role built on empathy, on communication, on things like presence and guiding people through honest decisions. And when I stepped into that world, I wasn't confident, I wasn't polished, I wasn't salesy, but I cared about people. I could listen deeply. I understood emotions. I communicated with passion and compassion for people. And for the first time, those parts of me weren't weaknesses, they were strengths. And once I'd combined who I already was with a real communication structure, with guided practice, with mentorship from people already doing the work, everything started to shift. And I wasn't just talking to people anymore. I was helping people get clear. I was guiding emotions, not guessing. I was supporting real decisions, not pushing anything. And that's what opened the door to my first role as an empathic remote closer, a communication first career where your job is to help people understand their situation and choose the right next step for themselves. And that was the moment that everything clicked for me. My conversations felt different. People opened up more. They trusted me faster. And for the first time, my work felt meaningful, not just like survival, but like I was contributing something real. And that's why I built ECS with my business partners, because I know exactly how it feels to be stuck in gigs that drain you, to feel behind, to feel lost, to feel like the remote career dream you dreamed about just doesn't exist. So I created ECS so that no other expats have to go through the years of confusion, isolation, trial and error that nearly broke me. And I wanted to turn everything I'd learned in the trenches into a repeatable, ethical, human communication skill that people like us could actually grow with, where empathy isn't something to hide, it's something that finally works for you. And since that day, I've spent years on calls and inside training rooms helping hundreds of expats learn the same skill that changed my life, a real skill, a real path, a real career, and not hype, not pressure, just clarity, presence, empathy used in the right way. So if you're in the season I was, the season where you're trying everything but nothing feels right, just know this: you're not behind, you're not late, you're not stuck. You just haven't been shown the right boat yet. And if you want to understand this path with some honesty, with some clarity, with zero pressure, comment prospectus and I'll send it to you personally.